Today we'll be looking at mean or average. So mean is basically the typical value in a set of data. Alright, so to solve for the mean, let's say we have the numbers 17, 0, 3, 6 and 4, and I said calculate the mean of that list of numbers. To calculate the mean, first we'll have to find the sum of the numbers. Alright, so to calculate mean, the formula is the sum of the numbers divided by the amount of numbers or the number of numbers. So in order to calculate the sum of the numbers, that's the first step we need to do, calculate the sum of the numbers. We know sum means to add, so we add 17 plus 0 plus 3 plus 6 plus 4. 17 plus 3 is 20, add 6 is 26, add 4 is 30, 30 add 0 is 30. So we know the sum of the list of numbers is 30. Now we want to identify the number of numbers. And looking at the list here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 numbers in the list. So to calculate the mean, applying the formula, they said it is the sum of the numbers, which we know is 30, divided by the number of numbers, which we know is 5. So this here now is 30 divided by 5. So we could say 5 could go into 5 one time, 5 could go into 30 6 times. So therefore, the mean or the average of this list of numbers here is 6. So we want to solve now for the sum. So recapping this question here, we know that the mean is 6 and the number of numbers is 5. So let's say now we have the question here. Calculate the sum of 5 numbers that has an average or a mean of 6. So they want you to calculate the sum of 5 numbers that have an average of 6. So the formula to calculate the sum of the numbers is equal to the mean or the average multiplied by the number of numbers. And from reading the question, we know that the number of numbers is 5 numbers and the mean or the average is 6. So applying the formula, the sum is equal to the mean, which is 6, multiplied by the number of numbers, which is 5, and 6 multiplied by 5 is 30. So therefore the sum of the 5 numbers is 30. Solving now for the number of numbers. So when given the mean or the average and the sum of the numbers, we can calculate now the number of numbers that are in the list to make up that mean or to give it that sum. So for example, the sum a list of numbers is 30. The mean of those numbers is 6. I want you now to calculate the amount of numbers in the list. So the formula to calculate the number of numbers will be the sum of the numbers divided by the mean. And from reading our question, we know that the sum of a list of numbers is 30. So the sum is equal to 30. And the said here now, the mean of this list of numbers is 6. I wanted to calculate how many numbers making up this list. So applying the formula now. So the number of numbers will be the sum, which is 30, divided by the mean, which is 6. And now we can simplify. 6 go into 6 one time, 6 go into 30 5 times. So therefore, we know that 5 numbers make up the list of numbers to give you that mean. Our next scenario is solving for the unknown. So a very key note to remember: whenever you are solving for the unknown, you always have to find for the sum first. Always find for the sum, and then you will be able to find for the unknown value. So from the question we have here, it said the mean of 5 numbers is 15. 4 of the numbers are 25, 6, 12, and 19. What is the value of the 5th number? So, identifying the data in this question, we know there's 5 numbers, and the mean of the 5 numbers is 15. Alright? So, we have 5 numbers, and the mean is 15. Alright, so from here we would like to calculate first. The first thing we need to do is to calculate the sum of the 5 numbers. And to calculate the sum of the 5 numbers, we apply the formula, and the formula is mean multiplied by the number of numbers. And this will give us the mean is 15 multiplied by the number of numbers, which is 5, and 15 multiplied by 5 will give us 75. Alright, so we know now the sum of the 5 numbers is 75. Next, we would like to calculate the sum of the 4 numbers that are given. Alright, so let's calculate the sum of the 4 numbers that are given. And the 4 numbers that are given is 25, 6, 12, and 19. So we want to calculate the sum of that. Sum means to add. So you take 25 plus 6 plus 12 plus 19, and that will give us 62. So you know now the sum of the 4 numbers here is 62. Now we would like to calculate what the 5th number is. In order to calculate the 5th number, we taken away from the total sum, which is 75. We taken away now from that the sum of the 4 numbers, which is 62, sorry. Alright, so 75 take away 62, and that will give us 13. So we know now from the list of numbers, 13 is the 5th number. So if we add up 25 plus 6 plus 12 plus 19 plus 13, we should get back 75, which is the sum of the 5 numbers.